Well, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Dude, I'm I'm happy that you're here. You want to start?
Sure.
Oh, you want to sound check real quick before we start?
Yeah, we can run through.
Um,
You got right
and
there, Rick Trevino.
yeah, Rick was in here earlier this year, probably a few months ago.
Super cool dude.
So nice, so humble to be such a fucking rock star.
Yes, sir. And he's so underrated. He's got like
Completely,
endless hits.
bro. He's
I got
he's
to meet
awesome.
him about a year ago.
Yeah, he was a fun conversation, man. He was one that I was a little nervous about, because I wanted to give him the respect that he deserved, and it's like those guys have done 1,000 interviews and shit, and I don't want to ask a dumb question, you know what I mean? And I thought it went well. It was the first time I'd ever met him, and he was super cool. He brought I guess his cousin or who's like his manager. He's been with him for like 50 years, and they were just telling these cool stories about like being in the 90s scene and in Tejano music and kind of like the whole drama that he went through in Nashville. And it was fascinating. It was really cool, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I met him, I was telling him when I was growing up, every time he'd come on the radio, my dad would tell me, I got to see him play at the Houston Rodeo in 1992 or something like that. And when I saw him, I said, hey, man, my dad saw you at the rodeo in the 90s, and here I am seeing you now here in 2023. So it's like, it's crazy how all that time goes by and you've been able to maintain a career that a father would see you at the rodeo and then his son could grow up and see you play a sold out show too. So
yeah, that's pretty
cool.
It's not only cool, but it's also cool, Sam, that you being a young guy can kind of realize already how cool that is, right? And for a young guy like you starting out in your career, it's like, man, that puts some weight. Like I would assume it makes you think like, man, I need to write stuff that's going to sustain me because I want to be doing this stuff too, right?
Yes,
like
sir.
I want to play for a young fella now who's going to grow up and have kids, and then 20 years down the road they're going to tell me a similar story.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. Super excited that you came in today. Welcome to the room, ladies and gentlemen, Samuel C. Miller.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here.
Sounds like Texas, man. It is a true pleasure of mine to have you here. I want to put you on the spot. Is this your first radio interview?
It is.
Man,
yes, sir,
I'm so stoked to be talking to you today. I think, to be honest with you, Sam, I talked briefly about it last week, but I think I have one of the coolest stories to share with you as an artist, just based on how we initially met.
Yes, sir.
And I kind of want to I'd like to start there, if you're all right with that.
100% cool
so
with that.
We talked briefly a little bit ago, and we think it was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, sir. That sounds right.
That we were out at Bull Bash, Pasadena Rodeo, and I saw you out there. You had this cool hat on, a cowboy hat, and it had a bunch of signatures. And I was out there for the bull, grabbing content, and I was like, man, this kid will be cool to talk to. I'm gonna go talk to him about his hat and all the signatures. And you told me about him, and you told me about Flatland signing it, and all these Parker signing it, and I was like, man, that's really cool. And I posted it, and it did pretty well. And then from that post, we started following one another on Instagram. Now, at the time, you were probably in high school, right?
I was, yes, sir. I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Where did you go to high school?
Clear Creek.
Clear Creek.
Yes, sir.
So you're from the South Side.
I am.
Which makes sense why you're down there in Pasadena. And at that time, you were just a fan of country music.
Just a fan, man. I grew up on it. Mom played it for me all the time when I was little, so there's a concert, you can bet I'm going to be there, and I was bringing that hat everywhere trying to get everybody's signature on it.
How many people ended up signing that hat?
Man, I think right now I probably have 25 or 30. I just brought it. I brought it for the last time. I unretired it, took it out, and I got Aldean to sign it.
Nice.
And now it's on the shelf forever. But
is that your most prized signature on the hat?
That is, yeah. That was
Jason Aldean.
Because the hat is like a Jason Aldean brand.
Right, yeah.
So I've been trying to get him on it forever, and finally did so.
Yeah, it was like a Jason Aldean brown like straw hat. It was cool, man, and I would love to see it again. Maybe you can send me a pic and we'll put a pic up for everybody that's watching this. But yeah, so we were out at the rodeo. We met there. Then we ended up following one another on social media. And Sam was just this high school kid. Like, he wasn't posting anything about music. He was just living his life. You were playing sports maybe, I think.
Yes, sir.
And then one day you blacked out your Instagram. You deleted everything. This was a couple of years ago, and there was nothing for a period of time, and you came back with you changed your image.
Yes,
Like
sir.
you, it was a picture. It was a solo picture. I remember it clearly of you standing against a fence post, maybe wearing that hat, but with your guitar, and kind of like announcing that you're here for country music.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so when was that?
That was, I think, right before I graduated. So maybe April of 2023.